Who was Melchizedek? The hidden key to understanding the Bible. Let's talk about one of the most mysterious and powerful figures in the Bible. Melchizedek. He appears briefly, yet his role is so significant that it links the faith of Abraham, the father of nations, to the eternal mission of Jesus Christ. Why does Abraham, the chosen prophet of God, bow before him? Why does the New Testament compare Jesus to him? Let's uncover the truth with Bible verses to guide us. Abraham bows to Melchizedek, a high priest greater than a prophet. The story begins in Genesis 14, verses 18-20, when Abraham, fresh from a victorious battle, encounters Melchizedek, described as the king of Salem, peace, and a priest of God Most High. Melchizedek blesses Abraham, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand." Genesis 14, 19-20. In response, Abraham does something extraordinary. He bows before Melchizedek and offers him a tenth of everything. Now think about this. Abraham, the man chosen by God to father nations, bows to another priest and gives him a tithe, a tenth that belongs only to God. This isn't just respect. It's an acknowledgement that Melchizedek's authority came directly from the Lord. The New Testament explains this in Hebrews 7:4-7, where it says, "Consider how great this man was, to whom even the patriarch Abraham gave a tenth of the spoils. The lesser is blessed by the greater." Abraham, a prophet so revered, recognized that Melchizedek stood as God's representative, a priest higher than any earthly system. Bread and wine, the Passover connection. Melchizedek's next act is even more fascinating. He brings out bread and wine to share with Abraham. Genesis 14. At first glance, this might seem like a simple gesture of hospitality, but its significance runs much deeper. Bread and wine are central elements of the Passover celebrated by Jesus Christ centuries later. For Christians, they also symbolize divine sacrifice and covenant, Jesus' body and blood offered for humanity's salvation. Melchizedek's offering of bread and wine wasn't random. It was a divine foreshadowing, pointing directly to the eternal mission of Jesus Christ, who, like Melchizedek, served as both king and high priest. This connection is emphasized in Hebrews 7:17, where Jesus is called, "You are a priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek." Who was Melchizedek? A man, a divine figure, or more? Melchizedek's identity is one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. Unlike other priests in the Bible, his genealogy is missing. No father, no mother, no beginning, no end. Hebrews 7:3 says, "Without father or mother, without genealogy, without beginning of days or end of life, resembling the Son of God, he remains a priest forever." Think about that. In a text where lineage defines a person's role, Melchizedek appears as timeless, eternal, and unbound by human history. Some believe he was a human king chosen by God, while others argue he was a theophany, a divine appearance of the Lord. Many see him as a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ, a glimpse of the eternal priesthood that Jesus would fulfill. The tenth belongs to God. Abraham's tithe to Melchizedek isn't just a random offering. It's an act of profound spiritual truth. The tenth, or tithe, is declared holy in the Bible and belongs only to the Lord. As stated in Leviticus 27:30, a tithe of everything from the land, whether grain from the soil or fruit from the trees, belongs to the Lord. It is holy to the Lord. By offering his tithe to Melchizedek, Abraham was declaring that Melchizedek was God's representative, worthy of receiving what belongs to the Lord alone. Why Melchizedek matters today. Here's the real question. Why does Melchizedek matter so much? Because his story isn't confined to the Old Testament. He reappears in the New Testament tied directly to Jesus Christ. Hebrews 7:24-25 explains that Jesus, like Melchizedek, serves as an eternal high priest. But because Jesus lives forever, he has a permanent priesthood. Therefore, he is able to save completely those who come to God through him. Melchizedek's priesthood represents a universal truth, unbound by time, tradition, or lineage. His story shows us that God's plan for humanity has always been greater than any one group or nation. Lessons from Melchizedek. 1. Even Abraham acknowledged greater authority. Abraham, chosen by God, bowed to Melchizedek, recognizing his divine priesthood. 2. The tithe belongs only to God. By giving a tenth to Melchizedek, Abraham declared that Melchizedek was God's representative. 3. Bread and wine connect to the Passover. Melchizedek's offering wasn't a coincidence. It was a divine sign pointing to Jesus Christ's eternal role. 4. God's truth transcends borders. Melchizedek wasn't part of Abraham's lineage or tradition, yet he worshiped the same God, proving the universality of divine truth. Final thoughts. Melchizedek's story is more than a historical footnote, it's a wake-up call. It challenges us to think about spiritual authority, divine truth, and God's eternal plan. His role as a timeless king and priest shows us that the Lord's plan for salvation was in motion long before Abraham and fulfilled through Jesus Christ. So what do you think? Is Melchizedek the missing link that connects God's eternal truth across the ages? Let's discuss.